Hello, YouTubers. Welcome to Level-Headed News. This is your host, Brenda. Welcome to the 17th day of January 2017. I'd like to start this episode off by thanking everybody for all the thumbs up I got on the last video I did yesterday. You guys, you made my day. I'll tell you what, that the end of that one was a rough ride with that ad kept trying to pop up there. I'm glad you all enjoyed the entertainment that we got. I have 3 episodes for you this morning here, and this is the first of the 3. It has 3 articles in it. The URLs, of course, are in the description of the video for your viewing enjoyment. That way you can pull them up and take a look at them and pull out whatever information that you need to get out of them. Sometimes there's some videos and links and comments and things in them that I don't include in the broadcast. So that way you can take a look at them. This first one is off of the Conservative Tribune, and it says, acid attacks at inauguration. And this is a developing story, so I'm sure there'll be more on this before the week's out. This is how it reads. It says, by now you are no doubt aware of efforts by the progressive left to disrupt or shut down the inauguration of President-elect Donald Trump on Friday. An effort by a coalition of various leftist groups known collectively as Disrupt J20. When Project Veritas learned of the rumors of disruption efforts, the group did what it always does, dispatched undercover journalists with hidden cameras to catch the perpetrators and expose their criminal plots with their own words. And that is exactly what founder James O'Keefe did, revealing Monday the first in a series of videos exposing the group's plans. This particular video revealed that members of a group known as DC Anti-Fascist Coalition intended to conduct a sort of acid attack on innocent attendees at one of the special balls the night before the inauguration, known as the Deplore Ball, to be hosted at the National Press Club building in Washington, D.C. The plotting largely revolved around figuring out a method for introducing a small amount of acid into the building's ventilation system, which would obviously result in the building being shut down and everybody inside being evacuated. A separate backup plan included triggering all of the fire sprinklers in the building to go off at the same time, dousing the guests of the Deplore Ball with water and forcing them to exit the building into the frigid winter temperatures, a potentially deadly proposition for elderly guests or those already dealing with illness of some sort. As for the use of acid to shut down the inauguration ball, such an act would be in violation of D.C. anti-terrorism laws, specifically D.C. Code 22-3571.016, a felony offense with punishment of up to 5 years in prison and a hefty fine. Project Veritas made the unprecedented move of approaching law enforcement with its footage before publishing it, informing not only the D.C. Metro Police Department of the plot, but the FBI and Secret Service as well, according to WMD. You can watch part of one of the video series right here, and there is a video you can watch, and it says, caution, there's explicit language in it. And I'm trying to get this to move on up for us, and it's trying to play the video, and I'm trying to shut her down. Another one of these videos wanting to play all the time. Okay, I don't know. Maybe I've got it shut off, maybe I don't. It says, this is nothing short of criminal and goes to show how truly unhinged some individuals on the left have really become following Trump's election. What these men were discussing is flat out terroristic in nature, and hopefully they have all been paid a visit by the authorities by now. Nevertheless, law enforcement officers will likely be on high alert before, during, and after the inauguration, as well as they well should be, since the emboldened left in the Disrupt J20 have made no secret that they intend to stage protests that could even shut down some of the events surrounding Trump's assumption of office. So there you have that. Wow. That that's just going too far. I mean, you know, they're taking. It's one thing to do a nice peaceful protest. You know, voice heard without attacking people and carrying on. Well, then let's just get to this next article. This is off the Conservative Tribune, and it says Trump's Cadillac limo will be equipped with tear gas cannon and shotgun. As President of the United States, a man needs thorough protection while traveling through town, and that's what incoming President Donald J. Trump will be receiving come Inauguration Day. For you see, it is on this day that the Cadillac One limousine will be debuted to both the public and the president-elect. Set to replace President Barack Obama's fleet of dozen limos, this single behemoth will reportedly be stocked with weapons designed to keep would-be riders and other such vermin at bay, including a powerful shotgun and even a tear gas cannon. You can take a look at this first limo, which has reportedly been dubbed the Beast, here in a video in this article if you want to pull it up and take a look at that yourself. It says, as noted by The Hill, the limo will also feature bulletproof windows and be plated with military-grade armor, doors so heavy that President Trump won't be able to open them from the inside. According to Auto Week, however, the limo will inherit most of its traits, including its size. And it's got another video trying to play. And I'm trying to shut it down. Goodness gracious. Okay, according to Auto Week, however, the limo will inherit most of its traits, including its size and general design, from previous presidential limos. The big changes will reportedly center in the limo's communication system. Perhaps it will include access to gigabit internet. Granted, Auto Week speculates that it was unlikely to be transformed into a mobile office featuring multiple tables, screens, and office equipment, since presidents do not typically spend that much time in the limo. Of course, presidents have typically been try that again. Of course, presidents haven't typically been billionaire businessmen either. The only drawback to the limo was that it would reportedly cost $1.5 million, which in fairness was a small price to pay to both keep the most important man in the world safe and protect and also arm him with weapons needed to keep back haters. And in fact, some of Trump's most ardent supporters might be willing to pay a lot more just to have the honor of seeing him use his limo to spray some riders with tear gas. But of course, we hope it doesn't come to that. But judging by the way these people want to behave, it might. Let's see. The next one here is off of The Common Sense Show with Dave Hodges. And this one says, U.S., well, let's see, the seeds of a potential assassination. There we go. U.S. Park Police and D.C. Police Wednesday afternoon investigated the two areas where the weapons were found. I have been waiting for a massive law enforcement response given the timing and location of the following discoveries. Instead, we are all getting the crickets chirping with regard to the response of federal and local law enforcement. The reason that this is significant is because January the 15th, I received highly credible tips that a man was arrested in D.C. transporting a huge weapon cache in a truck. By local officials that the event is being covered up from the media and there is no federal involvement to their knowledge. Let's review the following of what is known and evaluate local law enforcement as well as the Fed's response to this situation, which I believe pose a significant and potential threat to Donald Trump. Details. The finding of weapons cache in two separate locations in the D.C. area, only a quarter of a mile from each other, was so serious and concerning that local traffic on Canal Road was stopped during the investigation. But quickly, the cover-up was initiated and the findings were quickly swept under the carpet. The discovery. The discovery of weapons was made by a woman who saw a suspicious violin case along a stone wall that runs parallel to a local canal. She stopped and opened the case and found guns. Only a short distance north of the discovery at the canal, Park Police found a cache of multiple weapons and ammunition that had been covered by trash to obscure the presence of the weapons. FBI. Please allow me to be clear about something. This is the city where the most contested and most volatile presidential election in American history is coming to a natural conclusion with the inauguration of Donald Trump. Subsequently, with the layers of extra security being brought in to counter what George Soros, Bill Ayers, and Michael Moore are going to do at the inauguration, these discoveries should have set off alarm bells all throughout the region. Given the circumstances, the FBI should have taken over criminal investigation and should have been looking to get to the bottom of these two discoveries. So please allow me to ask, where the hell does Comey want something to happen to Trump and thousands of innocent bystanders? This is just another case where Comey is at this best. I sincerely hope Trump's prosecutes Comey for his role in the HSBC money laundering when Comey served on the board of directors of the HSBC. The official response. Every attempt to minimize the findings is in play. Please consider the following. Park Police spokeswoman Sergeant Anna Rose said there were a variety of weapons recovered, including long guns and pistols. Buckets and bags, Rose said, although she said she didn't believe any of them were loaded. Would someone please tell this law enforcement moron that they found ammunition at the scene? And then her quote goes on and says, there's no indication as to why these weapons were here when they came to be here or the circumstances surrounding it. That part's all under investigation. Continues. It says, no wonder DC has one of the highest homicide rates by gun, despite having some of the strictest gun control laws in the country. With morons like this in charge, who can feel safe? 2 weapons cache discovered in the city and at the time of the inauguration, and nobody in the official capacity, and no FBI involvement. Welcome to JFK's Secret Service Detail, Dallas, Texas, November 22nd, 1963. What should have happened? Upon stumbling across this seemingly no big deal discovery, I called 2 law enforcement officials of some note and asked them for their reaction. Here's what I was told by a former 27-year veteran of a major police department. He said, word for word, the following. If we were only expecting a visit from the president, took place under our watch, I would have had a very well publicized meeting with Secret Service, DHS, and the FBI, as well as state law enforcement, secretly to ensure the safety of the president. In this environment, which is highly charged with the potential for violence, I would recommend a change of venue, a potential attack that would have been planned. Additionally, we would keep watch on the local area with a team of undercover officers, although the feds would take over this process in all likelihood. We would be going through nearby store videos and traffic cams looking for anything that could be connected to the events as described in DC. Wanted to, I know from experience they could backtrack any satellite footage of the area over the past several weeks with key image search. I know this because we have done it before. The DIA as well as Clapper, similar things. I am awestruck that the officials are so cavalier about these discoveries. This is a complete failure of law enforcement at every level in DC, given the highly charged political atmosphere where an event like this should spark. If anything, an overreaction, not an underwhelming response. This is the reaction of law enforcement that concerns me much more than the event itself. Donald Trump is a marked man at this event. My feelings of concerns over his safety. The FBI's reaction alone tells us that we need to know about the desire to protect the president from assassination, and the fact that George Soros, Bill Ayers, and Michael Moore have threatened the proceedings at this Friday's inauguration should have heightened law enforcement's response. Did you know that Lee Harvey Oswald, an actual member of the CIA, as it was discovered he was on the CIA payroll at the time of the assassination, went to James Hosty of the FBI and told him of impending trouble for JFK several days before the assassination? Oswald had several meetings with Hosty in the weeks leading to the assassination. This is very similar to what we just observed in DC, as history is potentially repeating itself, and the feds are going to let history take its course. Welcome to the Banana Republic, we formerly called the United States of America. And at the end of it all, they shouldn't be very far removed from these events. All the rest of us can and should do is pray for Donald Trump's safety. Trump is in more danger than Lincoln or Kennedy ever were. And that's what I have for you here in this episode. If you like what I'm doing for you, give it a thumbs up. Make my day. Share this among your social media so everybody gets to hear the news. And don't forget to subscribe. Click that little bell beside the subscription button and check that box if you haven't done that already. That way you'll be alerted every time that there's a show comes up, and it'll keep you informed.